See the shirt? You see it? You see it? Yeah, it's kind of a dope shirt. YouTube land, what's good? It's your boy B here, aka Brian, aka Prince, aka Prince Rashida without the hating. If you don't know me, future FGC commentator here, and today I'm here to talk about the stress test because we don't know anything currently on March 11th, 2019 at 7:50 a.m. in Central Standard Time. We don't know anything about the beta. We don't know anything about either beta. All we know is the days that they take place, and also I want to make suggestions, especially with final round being like the biggest tournament possible at this current given time. Granted, I don't think it'll be big for NRS just because of the current timeline, and like maybe I think MKX will probably have a bigger tournament than Injustice 2 just because they're kind of like dead games, like we're anticipating the next game, if you will. But I feel like that still plays a factor in it, final round. But what I wanted to talk about before was the current builds that they have and the builds building up to this, and what builds do I think will be the best for the stress test, let alone the final beta. And the reason why I have them as two different builds is to market the game and also get the best test for your game, right? So the reveal build, which a lot of people think we might get, and the reveal build, it's okay. It's not the craziest thing in the world. It was only 7 characters. It was Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Sonya, Geras, Baraka, Scarlet. Everybody and their mama knows like kind of something about these characters at this current given point, right? We know about the Fatals. I think I've seen all Fatals, except for Geras. Geras' second Fatal is the only Fatal I haven't seen. We just know, like, it's been since January 17th. We know about those characters, right? And the current build that they had a couple YouTubers test out in Chicago, I want to say like maybe last week, not last week, but the week before last, was that 7 plus Kano and Cassie and Johnny and Cabal and Jade. Also, I'm sick, so if I sound like crap, I apologize. If I look like crap, I apologize. I'm super sick. I don't even know if I'm gonna commentate today, so we'll see. Yeah, and that was the current build that they ran, which was 10 characters, which is a healthy size roster, and I think very nice. But there was no Cabal and no Jade. Now, I don't know. My guess of no Cabal, no Jade is strictly like story stuff, essentially, right? Because when the stress test comes online, there's gonna be somebody who gets like all the all the intros from each character, correct? And I feel like Jade plays an important fact because she's a Revenant in her default, so we don't know what's going on with her timeline and how she became to. And then Cabal is kind of the same thing. So I'm really curious to see what skins they'll have in the stress build, and I'm curious to see like what they'll say in the stress build. So maybe that's my only like thing I could think of as to why you wouldn't have these characters that you already revealed gameplay of. Not in the current build, because I think a lot of people want to know what Cabal plays like and Jade plays like and truly play these characters. Because, I mean, if you want to look at like just fun stuff you could do off the top of your head, you know, Johnny has the ability to cancel his Fatal Blow and get a combo off of it, right? Like just to dash cancel it, whatever. Jade and Cabal, like Jade has a run. Like Jade is MKX. Like Jade might make MK11 kind of hard for the stress build, right? Cabal has no Mad Dash cancel. No Mad Dash cancel. Sorry, I'm sick. So, I mean, like, is that why? I'm trying to understand as to why these characters might not be in the stress build. But I think to get your money's worth, to get the best experience possible, this is what I think they should do with the stress test. I think you add Cabal and Jade. And seeing as I think there's going to be a comment cast this week, it's probably going to be right before the stress build, where they go over the stress build, maybe go over characters in the stress build. I think you should add 2 more characters. I think you should add Devorah, and I think you should add Jackie. The reason being is like you already revealed them. Devorah's just been chilling for a long time, and we haven't seen no gameplay of her. And then Jackie Briggs just got revealed, so there's obviously a reason that you're revealing her. I would hate to reveal her just for the breakdown and then like, oh, well, you ain't gonna play her till the game comes out. It's like, yeah. It's all a timing thing, right? It has to make sense. And I think for the stress test, if we can't have it to where it's all 3 days, I understand. If we can have it to where it's like 3 12-hour sessions, I understand. Personally, and I think the community would agree with this, make it like 6 hours, to like 2 6-hour sessions versus like those 3 like 2 to 4 hour sessions. Reason being is I would rather have it have a long period of time and it being tested throughout the day versus as much as you could possibly take and test it that way. You know what I'm saying? How does it fare when everybody's on it? And then versus how does it fare when nobody's on it? I want to know those numbers versus, like, say, you know, how they say the busiest time of the day is probably like 5 o'clock, right? Because everybody's getting off, or maybe 6 o'clock, maybe everybody's home, right? So I would rather know that it's the same experience when everybody's home at 6 versus like nobody's home at like 1 o'clock. You feel me? That's what I want to know. Versus like put it on the max difficulty, the hardest settings, and hope that it works. Nah, like let's test it out. Like let's actually get gameplay. And then on top of that, put a practice mode. A lot of these betas, well, I guess it's been. I don't want to show shots, but it's not shot like anything. But like the last couple betas I've tried, like the Jump Force beta and the Dragon Ball FighterZ betas worked the greatest. But they allowed practice mode, so I was able to still play the game. Not saying NRS would have the same thing because they do use GGPO. Put a practice mode in there because I feel like you want people to test this game, right? This is not like X, but then we saw X from the get-go. So there's an E3 build of X. There's all these other builds of MKX. So there wasn't a beta. There wasn't a beta until they switched the netcode, right? Because they even added a character in Injustice 2, and it just dawned on me. I don't remember how many characters were in Injustice 2 beta. Off the top of my head, I feel like Batman was. I feel like Supergirl was. I feel like Atrocitus was. Superman. They added Blue Beetle. Black Canary. I feel like there's maybe one more missing from the Injustice 2 build. If you remember it, let me know. But maybe that was sessions, but I feel like those were like 4-hour sessions. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know how those builds went. My nose looks hella red. But that's what I'm saying. I think to kill it this weekend, especially with final round being this weekend, you give us 12. I'm asking for a lot. You give us 14 characters and like 2 6-hour sessions each day. Now, what time do you want those sessions? That's your job. You're NRS. You do what you want. And also have a practice mode. So we could truly test it, so we could truly play it, and give strong feedback, because it's nothing like anything we played before, right? So that's another reason why I say that. Now, I get with betas, they're kind of hard to build, essentially, and like the more you add to it, the more it kind of differentiates from the testing the beta. That's why, like, if you remember, like the first online beta they had for MKX when they was testing the netcode, like, I think you only started out with 4 characters, and they slowly added characters. Now, they could add characters, then again, it's only 3 days, so I can't really see them adding too much. So I just come out the gate, let everybody test it, let everybody see how it feels, give you positive feedback, negative feedback, give you some practice mode, because I think we also want to know how the game's going to be. Like, I want to see pros go into practice mode and just see how the game is, you know? Because hell, I think you could make it to where you could end your life, not end your life, but I think you basically play the game in practice mode, right? And like end the round and stuff like that. I would love to see pros do that and like kind of get the feel for the game, essentially. Now let's talk about the beta. NRS. I want you to make this beta the greatest beta of all time. If the stress test is a little snack, make this the dinner. And then when April 23rd comes around, you know, that's the cake. That's the dessert. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh wow, I'm full, but yeah, I get to eat as much as I want. The reason why I say this, make this 3 days long. Take the stress test, take the information you need, jot it down, blah blah blah. I know I said I wanted 14 characters, But for this beta that everybody and their mama pre-ordered to get, and it's a closed beta, make it 16. That's 16 out of the possible 28 characters. That's what the league list was saying as far as numbers. So there's 28 characters. Give us 16 characters. Add the main man, Aaron Black, and then add Kotal Khan, because we see them from the trailers. And I feel like giving us, that's like 2 weeks away as far as this stretch test goes. That'll give you plenty of time to reveal Aaron Black and reveal Kotal Khan. And then make it 3 days long. Add that practice mode, like I said. If you do those things, if you had those many characters, make it a practice mode and 3 days long, everybody in their mama is drooling for MK. Because you're either going to play it and be like, I don't know, maybe I'll wait till the whole game comes out. Or you're going to play it and be like, I'm so addicted to this game, especially learning these combos. Because, like, think about it. We don't know how much damage you really can get. Because imagine spending 2 meters, like Kano's combo. I think it was like a healthy combo. I think it was like maybe 400 damage. I don't know if he could cancel that into a fatal blow. But imagine he could. Imagine Brock has a string where he gets a bounce off a fatal blow. You know, Sub-Zero has a string where if he gets 10 hits in the combo, he gets a fatal blow. And then if it's his third EX slide, say he ends it with that, he gets a fatal blow. We don't know how much damage you really can do. So this game could be nutty. This is why I'm excited to see. Even if I don't get a code, I have a strong feeling I'm going to get a code. But even if I don't get a code, I'm curious to see how everybody else is going to play the game and how everybody else is going to move and stuff like that. And like, I've been playing Street Fighter 5. A lot of people think Street Fighter 5 is slow. But if you watch pro level players, you can move, essentially. So I'm just curious to see how people get in the hands and how they play, right? Yeah, make it perfect. 16 out of the 28 characters. Give us a practice mode. It's done. It's done. I'm telling you. You love money, NRS. I'll help me make you guys money. You feel me? So like I said, those 16 characters that I think should be in the final build for the closed beta for the 28th through the 31st is Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Sonya, Geras, Brock, Scarlet, Kano, Cassie, Johnny, Cabal, Jade, Aaron Black, Kotal Khan, Jackie Briggs, and Devore. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Now, I don't know what you're going to reveal afterwards. That's on you. You know, what you plan to show, what you, Also, last thing. I'm sick, so if this video sounds like it's been all over the place, it has. I apologize. Last thing is, what's the tournament build? I hope they implement that in the stress test and then the closed beta, because we don't know what the tournament build is. So when I play this stress test, am I building my variations, or am I using preset variations? And the preset variations, are these the ones you want us to use in tournament? Because your boy's trying to practice commentary. Granted, I won't have a local, but Combo Breaker comes up at the end of the month, next month, after April. So it's like, we ain't got a lot of time to be figuring out like what you can use and can't use in tournament, and then how you gonna build it. So it's like $1 million questions. I hope to answer all these questions during this combat cast, but also do a Devore and Jackie breakdown so we can get those characters in the stress test. But yeah, I'm sorry that I'm sick. I'm sorry that the content's been slacking on here and on the Twitch channel, but I'm gonna try to upload and work harder for you guys. So until next time, peace.